everything's custom made, and I'm a hip hop producer from Chicago. This has all been just a hobby that eventually led into pursuing it professionally, and just been doing my own thing. Learned just by trial and error and hanging around certain people that were always making music. Eventually I just got a grasp of it on my own. I was always into house music and getting into being a DJ and stuff, which I did pretty much throughout my teenage years and most of high school. I was really inspired by a Chicago hip hop show that I went to that my older sister took me to back in the day. These dudes were having like a cypher, and I was super just kind of taken away, I guess you could say, and then it led me to just explore. So at that time I was super limited. We didn't have the internet like we do now, so I was always constantly trying to find mixtapes, and I always listened to the radio for hip hop songs, so I would record them on my tape deck type thing. We just got cable around that time, so BET had just started growing as a network, so I would always tune in on the hip hop Fridays and Saturdays, and then Yo MTV Raps. And then as I got older, I got hip to more of the hip hop functions, and then that's when I actually discovered local acts, and from there it was just man, I want to get involved somehow, so I wanted to make beats. I felt like beats, the whole process of it was interesting, and knocking drums and creating sounds and stuff like that was really intriguing. So that's pretty much what led me to where I'm at. Man, if I could describe my style, I would like to think that it's unique, but at the same time it's relatable to people that like to rap and do hip hop. I don't think I could label it with any other producer that I look up to, but I'm definitely inspired by, and it's really hard because I really feel like I have a ton of room for improvement, and I'm not well versed in other aspects of production like some of my fellow producers in the producer community. If I would put myself in any kind of category, I would be more of a manipulator / sampler. If I get certain sounds and elements set up a certain way, I could definitely make something happen, whether it's minimal, a 2-bar, 4-bar loop, or if I have something orchestrated, I feel like I can make something happen regardless of how limited of the sounds that I have. And I'm really trying to get into more of original productions and orchestrating my own stuff. It's been a process, but with certain producer homies that I got, they're making it pretty easy for me to learn this stuff. So when it comes to making beats, there are a few things that factor in, but the main thing is the melody, the sound, the body of music. I'm not the type of producer that lays drums first and then puts sounds to it. If I find a sample, or if I have some of my friends play some melodies, I always look for something that catches my attention, and then I build off it. I always try to make something that's not forced, and I do definitely get inspired by just different rhythms, patterns, and melodies. I always try to either flip it in my way where I can rearrange it, or I take a small piece of it and try to create something bigger out of it and try to add my own flavor. I feel like anything that I vibe with, draws a emotion or a reaction, is most likely something that I'm gonna touch. Best bet is to contact me on my website. It's beatsbycustom.com. You can hit up the contact form there, and I'll also link you to my social media sites for beat inquiries or drum kits or collaborations. I'm all down with it, so as long as I get a vibe from it. So yeah, let's work.